All right. Hello, everybody. This is kind of a impromptu type of show tonight. I decided to go live and do some readings because I feel kind of bad. I have not been on here like I wanted to. I have just been extremely busy. So I figured I would come here, turn the super chat off so I don't have to feel obligated to do people's readings. And so I'm going to pick some of them to do charts. I'll do some cards, I'll do some rods, whatever. But a couple things that I wanted to talk about as well was I was so excited to share with everybody that I'll share my screen. Hold on. Sorry, it's going to take a second to get moving here. Do you see this? Okay, can everybody see this chart? Just wait till I see it on the screen, on my other screen. I have two screens, so if when somebody says, oh, why do her eyes get all crazy? Because I'm looking at like 15 screens. I have 4 computers right here, sitting here. So if everybody can see what I'm looking at, this is my chart actually. And tomorrow at 5:17 a.m., Jupiter goes into Scorpio. Everybody, that's exciting. We should be doing back handsprings, okay? Let's just talk about this for a quick second because I'm really excited. This is going to be the last time Jupiter was in Scorpio for me, and I'm going to use me as an example just because I know my chart upside down, inside out, and it's very easy for me to explain. So I'm a Scorpio rising sign, okay? And I probably should have started this off. If you're new to this channel, I do Vedic astrology. So I do not do the regular tropical zodiac. So everybody that thinks that they're an X sign, right? It may not be your sign. And let's just say the sun sign is the least of the most important in your chart. Your rising sign is number 1, moon sign number 2, and then your chart like in general. Okay, so when everybody looks at their sun sign, it is like, oh, I'm a blah, blah, blah. I seriously, like, it just makes me want to, okay. So I'm a Scorpio rising, okay? Rising sign. And think about this for just 2 quick seconds. When you're born, right? How many babies were born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on September 12th? A lot, a lot of them. How many babies were born September 12th, 1984, 1338? Just me, guarantee you. Okay, so that's why your ascendant changes every 2 hours. So this is why your first house, which is your ascendant, which is your rising sign, is the most important part of your chart, okay? Because this changes every 2 hours. So like if I was born 2 hours behind, I would have been a Libra rising, okay? I would have liked probably Hillary Clinton, all right? I'm just stating the facts, okay? Who knows, maybe. All right, so you just never know. Like my life path would have been totally different. All right, so that's just for number 1. Number 2, per Western astrology, every astrologer and every tarot reader is talking about, they're like, oh, Jupiter is going into Sagittarius, right? That's what everybody says. Now, I want everybody to go in their phones, download this app called Star Chart. It's literally, anybody can download it. Go download this app, stick it in the sky. I want you to look where Saturn is and where Jupiter is. It's real simple, okay? That's what I'm looking at right here on this screen. So as you see, 5:17 a.m., 10/9/2018, Jupiter is cruising into Scorpio, 0 degrees, all right? So this is good stuff for anybody. It's good stuff for you in general, typically, no matter where this falls in your chart. It's going to feel better than when Jupiter's in Libra. When Jupiter's in Libra, it's Jupiter's expansion, okay, growth. So when it's in Libra, the sign of balance, it feels a little out of sorts, okay? It's been in my 12th house. And, and this is where I'm going to show my chart and say, I'm going to tell you that every astrologer that I talked to said, God, you got to be careful this year with money. This year is going to be horrible because Saturn's in my 2nd house, giving me 0 points of strength of Shadbala in my Ashavarga in my 2nd house. Okay, I'm going to tell you 0 points. It literally says like, basically I could just lose everything. This has been the best year financially I've ever had. Okay, so we cannot necessarily say that the strengths, and this is how it is both ways, Western way, Vedic way. I know my Western chart just as good as I do my Vedic chart. All right, so And it's funny because I have been listening to so many tarot readers, okay? And ones that I really like that are great. And I always listen to my rising sign. And there have been so many people that have said, all the Scorpios are saying, oh, why is Jupiter not doing such good things for me? It's because it's not in your sign yet. Think about this, okay? All right. So just had to start out with that. And, I'm not saying Western astrology is wrong because it works for some people, yes. But for me, I've studied both up, down, upside down, inside out, left, right, struggled with which ways am I, both ways, okay? And I'm going to tell you that I'm a Scorpio rising. I am not a Sagittarius rising. Jupiter's in my second house of speaking, and I speak like a Sagittarius, absolutely. My second house of speech and how I think, like my second house of what I value, but it doesn't mean I'm a Sagittarius. Sagittariuses aren't necessarily like wannabe cops, okay? Well, sometimes they can be, but not like investigations like me. All right, so I'm not reading so far. I haven't read any comments yet, okay? So it's a rare occasion when I'm on here by myself too. Another thing with this Jupiter going into Scorpio. Okay, so I've been following a lot of people with cryptos, and last night I tried to go to sleep. I have been so busy at work, I can't even explain it to you, okay? Because I sell new homes. So if you're wondering why I haven't got back to you, why I ignore you on Facebook, why I ignore you on, when you send me emails, it has nothing to do with you, okay? So number one, let's just start this off by saying, do not ever, please do not ever tag me on a post on Facebook, ever, okay? I keep that separate. I have clients on Facebook that I don't want to know my political views. Okay, people get real funny about that. That's number one. Two, or any like controversial stuff. I use Facebook as well just to advertise my work because I sell new construction. That's number one. Two, if I'm not responding to you and I answer you really short, sweet, and like kind of rude, no offense. This is how I talk to anybody. You can ask Jenny. Like Jenny will say, Heidi is just not that type of person. So please, I'm not being rude. I'm not ignoring you. I'm not, I read, I don't like to read. All I do is sit on computers, call people all day. Then on my days off, I do readings. So that's why I have a long wait. And I'm sorry that I'm not the most interactive person, but another reason too, is I keep this separate, it's just for my own sanity. I have to. If I responded to everybody that sent me the craziest things, I would have stopped this a long, long time ago. Okay. Back to where I was going with this. So I just had to make that clear, real clear. And also, do not schedule a reading with me if you do not know what time you're born. If it's not your birth certificate and it's from your mother, please don't send me money. Don't schedule it. Don't even send the money through PayPal. Okay. I probably should have made a video separate of this, but I'm just going through this. Once you send me on my website and go on my website, when I can do your reading in 60 days, then I'm going to respond. Okay. So it might sit out there in outer space for a while and you're going to think I'm not answering, but I can't respond until I know I can do it in 60 days. It has been soon, like recently it's been 30 to 45, but I'm telling you 60. Worse expectations, then if something good happens, then you'll be happy. All right. So that is kind of the schedule that I'm on. It's a horrible system. We know this. I know this. It's like the worst in the world, but that's all the best I can do right now. And I don't do refunds, even though somebody said, like when somebody like sits there and thinks about it and then changes their mind, that annoys me. Why? Because it wastes like 10 minutes of my day. I got to search around for things. Like just don't schedule it. If you do not know you want a real reading from me, don't do it. If you have any hesitation whatsoever, do not do it because this isn't my full-time gig. Okay. So I can't be pacing around because it just frustrates me and I get like really, and it makes me not want to do it. All right. My time is like, I don't have a lot of free time. So when I have free time and if I don't work out and if I don't do the things that keep me sane, I will literally like turn this whole thing down and I don't want to have to do that. So I just have to be really clear because people don't seem to get the message, even though I say this hundreds and hundreds of times. So don't schedule anything with me unless you know what time you're born, and it has to come from your birth certificate. If you don't have the time on your birth certificate, it's because it's not your original birth certificate. You have to call the county that you were born in. You have to literally, I called the lady on the phone. She said, you have to write in the comments, need time for astrology, or they'll send you a new birth certificate without the time. Why? Because when you're born after a certain age, you're not in a computer. You're in some files in a storage unit, probably a half a mile down the street. They have to go search in and grab it. So for them, it's easier to just stamp, seal, and give you another one without the time. So you have to write the note. And I said, you really have to write that? Yep, you do. Okay, so that's just a little housekeeping, okay? Jupiter going into Scorpio, though. So I've been watching a lot of YouTube channels about, you know, like there's a big global, there's going to be a big change with the financial markets. And I'm going to talk about this in different shows. So I'm going to briefly just drop in on this because this is more about you guys this today. So, but I saw there's a guy that I follow, John X Army, okay? And a couple months ago, I was sleeping. I went to bed last night at 7 o'clock, and I had this like epiphany that I woke up and I turned the YouTube on. His was the first one I saw, and it was about it was the Phoenix rising, and it was, you know, the markets are shifting, and it was 3 dates, okay? It was August 15th, October 10th, and then it was November 11th. First of all, a few months back, I have something with November 11th of this year that I saw like some weird visions, okay? And I'm not one of those people that see weird visions, but if I do have an intuitive premonition, something is really probably going to happen. Funny. It's not going to usually be good either. It's usually something, it's not the best news. Okay, so, but October 10th, which is what, 2 days from now, Jupiter just goes into Scorpio. Per the United States chart, they say, you know, I'm going to tell you that this is going to be next year, next 2 years. We thought this year was crazy. Just hold on to your seats. I mean, let's just say financially, though, definitely big changes. Because if the United States is a Scorpio rising, that means that the money markets could shift for sure. And there's a huge 8th house transit of big change. I mean, this is huge, huge. So, and he was saying, you know, could it be gold? Could it be silver? And he was just, you know, speculating with some articles he was reading. And he says, or could it be Bitcoin? He doesn't even have Bitcoin or cryptos or anything. And so I haven't looked at my Coinbase app because I've been annoyed for the past few months. So I go onto Coinbase and I see all the new cryptos on there. Okay. Like you can't trade them yet from Coinbase, but they're on there. And like, to me, that's all I needed to see. Okay. I firmly believe 100% that cryptos will be the new money exchange. Okay. This is like, and if I could be wrong 100%, but it makes sense. I've been saying from day one, the chart kind of looks a little, I am the type of person that after watching and talking to so many people that work at NSA and so many people that work, there's no way they're going to let some system come in that's, you know, Satoshi Nakamoto, whatever the hell his name is, NSA. That's my opinion. Sorry. Just think that's what my opinion's been since day one. But I didn't want to bust everybody's bubble and tell them. But the truth is, they'd allowed people to get in, get interested in it. And I do believe this is going to be the new money. Okay. So last night I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I was buying all these crazy cryptos because in 2 days, and just when Jupiter goes into Scorpio, things are going to really shift for cryptos financially. So another thing. And I've been saying this, like when Jupiter goes into Scorpio, blah, blah, blah. But one little hurdle is Venus is retrograde right now. Okay. So when Venus is retrograde, all these annoying people from your past can come back. It's going to test you with people from the past that, you know, you're going to think maybe you should give them a try again. Okay. But another thing that it's going to do is Venus is money. It's pleasure. It's, you know, it's all that stuff. So when Venus goes retrograde, and it's very rare when Venus goes retrograde, it's not very often. It's one of the least planets to go retrograde. Venus retrogrades suck for me. Okay. I hate them. I literally wrote 4 contracts in the past 3 weeks and 6 contracts, 3 of them rescind from HOA docs. Like, to me, that's people changing their minds, changing, you know, so it's like lots of redoing, rethinking, refix it, you know, it's like, but then the blast from the past, don't think they're not going to come back and try to shake shit up. Okay. So that will happen. So be aware of these things. I was literally sitting there thinking like, oh my God, should I take all my money out of the bank, like stick it in my mattress? And I'm like, can you even take money out of the bank without them thinking, like, can you even go to the bank and take a huge sum of money out? What would happen? You know? So these are just things that were running through my mind. And so I thought I would bring them up, but it's going to affect everybody differently depending on which house it's in for you. For instance, you know, if you're, maybe Jenny and I will do a show on this when we'll do tarot for all the signs. But you know, depending if you're a Scorpio rising, it's going in your first house. So depending on which rising sun you are, it moves around. And then you have to look at how it's going to emotionally fit you. So you make your moon the ascendant and how you're going to feel. So Jupiter expands things. It's not all great. Okay. I'm going to just be 100% honest. Jupiter is not, you know, all wonderful. That's for damn sure. But it's going to feel, like all these people that are shady are all going to be busted. Jupiter and Scorpio, that's what people were saying like last year. Oh, all these people for all the pedophiles, all this stuff's going to get called out, which it's slowly working its way up. Now, Jupiter and Scorpio, watch out. Shit is going to be flying off the charts. People are going to be like, this is investigator city. Okay. It's going to be fun. So I'm really excited for this. And after that, next year, Jupiter goes into Sagittarius, just as good. Okay. So we're in for really, I think personally, good times. But with that said, if Jupiter sucks in your chart and Jupiter is not acting right and you're like some sort of extremist, okay, Jupiter also can cause terrorist attacks from beliefs because people are so like, stuck in their ways. Religion. Jupiter is your belief system. All right. So you have to really look at that. So there's going to be a lot of things that this triggers. So just something to look out for. All right, so let me get over to this chat and see what's going on here. Oops. Okay, sorry. I made you guys look at my chart for like the entire spiel. All right, we'll go with like the first one. I'm going to go up to the top. And if it's not like my example, I can't be like going weeding through. It's got to be exactly like my example that I give on my thumbnail. Okay. So, and it's got to be all together. So I hope you don't make mistakes that way. All right. We got the first one, Spartan. Okay. Spartan, did I do your chart before? Here's the thing. If I did your chart before, do not put your name in here. Okay. It's not fair to the people because I turned the super chat off. I'm not doing people's charts. So if I see anything that could possibly look like, I've done this before, I'm going to start at the bottom. Okay. It's got to be new people. Do not try to slide it in here. All right. So this is kind of for people that have been saying I've been watching and they're like, oh my gosh, I want a reading, but I'm broke. Okay. So that's what we're up to here. I got to slow this damn chat down. Hold on. All right. You got to start over. I'm starting over. I'm not scrolling all night. I'll be sitting here all day. All right. See, Johnny Medicine Man, you're the first birthday I've noticed. You don't have if it's AM or PM. Okay. Like you guys have to put this in correct, please. Please. All right. We'll do Robin. Look at Robin with that crazy last name. Look how she wrote this. I need to see it exactly like how Robin wrote it, or I'm going to skip you. Sorry, my patience is like real small right now. I've had a rough, really long day. $424, 58, 221. Another thing, if you ask what software I use, it's Kala. You can purchase it. You can go to it from my website. Go to my website, oneofakindbyheidi.org. There's not much on my website. So go to the top, buy software, and you can get that. All right, Robin, you're Capricorn rising. Okay, these readings are short and brief because I don't have enough time to like really do when I do real readings, they're an hour long. I talk about all kinds of stuff. I keep these really short and not so personal because you're on YouTube. All right, so Capricorn rising, practical, hard workers. My mom is a Capricorn rising. Very like doesn't want anybody to know that anything's ever wrong. Like if your life is falling apart, you'll go to work that day and act like nothing's wrong. Okay, that's just the way you will be. Hard worker though. Good listener, good counselors, good speakers, people that get shit done. You want Capricorns around. Okay. And then you will deal with a lot of stuff. Okay. So I guarantee you that you've had a lot of like the ruler of your first house goes into the 12th. I mean, there's a lot of like truth seeking, taking care of people. Capricorns always have to take care of people. It's like they always feel like they have something or someone to take care of. And if not, they make themselves take care of people. Venus and Mars in your second, when you could definitely, you could be really good in sales, also can be intense speaker, very psychic. Venus and Mars. Like even like a kind of like somewhat of an attorney type of thing. You know, you're going to march to the own beat of your drum. That's for sure. Good writer. Good with documents, good counselor. I already said that, I think. Now you have K2 Sun, that fourth house. So this can be some power struggles with the father, possible. It doesn't always mean like that. It just means, it could mean you work and do something financial. You know, it doesn't always have to go this way. But Sun K2 conjunct sometimes can be some, you know, feeling like you have to prove something to the father, or it can just be kind of rough. I'm going to keep, like I said, I'm not going to go into details. 2, 6, maybe some family things with the mother too. Okay, for sure. You have Rahu, Jupiter in the 10th. So this can be really good for career. It can be very successful. But you always have run-ins with people. Okay, so there's going to be an imbalance between home life and work life. So when things like you may just work so crazily, and then when things like you'd be also a really good investigator, do something with law. I don't know, something with, you know, you could work in a hospital. It all depends, like, or counseling or therapists, very good at that. Some kind of service, you know, that type of thing. But Rahu's in Swati to go beyond. So like you're gonna focus on your career a lot this life. And sometimes, you know, the home life can struggle with that. So K2 or Rahu, you're having a big change in your life. You're having the nodes in the 1st and 7th house. Okay, so I'm going to pull some cards, like big shifts usually, and it's big changes. Could be some infidelity. Could be like you got to be careful with accidents too. You don't second guess your judgment either. Oh. Yeah, there's something going on. Like you're feeling like this, okay, which is not very good. So I have a feel. Oh, and you know what? When Rahu and Ketu are in the 1st and 7th, definitely can be relationships. Yeah, definitely. So an imbalance. It could be you feel like you want to get out. The other person wants to get out. You're disconnected. Doesn't always cause chaos, but you know, sometimes it can. Also, you have K2 in your first and your Navamsha. So there's struggles with relationships even after 40. So, you know, but Capricorns are the type of people, you got to be careful too. Like if you're having any addictions or any personality things that are, you know, you got to be cautious right now because you're in one of those transits that things can get a little crazy with, you know, unexpected events or people. Saturn in the 12th, you can have hidden enemies. And they're really, right now you're having a Saturn return. Okay. So in the 12th, you are going to be cleaning fucking house. I don't know how much better to tell you. Okay. That's, excuse my language, but that's the only way to say it. People that are not supposed to be in your life for the next year, you will be removing them. And if you don't want to remove them, they'll remove themselves or they will be removed. Okay. So it'll all be for the better. It will be for the better. But it also can be like accidents, hospitals. So, you know, if you work in a hospital, you get promotions. But if you don't work in a hospital and it goes certain ways, and this is where charts need to be investigated, you know, this is how it can be, you know, accidents and health stuff. So, and endings for sure, and theft. So watch out. Okay. And it's not always bad, but just be on your toes, be cautious, be 10 steps ahead of everybody and focus on yourself. All right, Brad, you're next because I'm just going down the list. 7/12/1979. Hold on, let me just pull you one more other card. It can be expenses too. All right, so we're back on Robin. Sorry. I had to give her some like nicer advice because that just sounded kind of, this card, door to value. This card reverse signals a partial or perhaps potential complete closing of the door. The hope for new opportunity where money or career is concerned could be delayed or disrailed. Don't be disheartened, however. This card reminds you to not put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify your interests and your efforts and let your intuition guide you to the next door open. In the meantime, open your heart and your mind to the other sources of value in your life. Money is a commodity, but so are your time, tranquility, and love. Choose to open the doors of these wonderful experiences yourself and find the real value. Okay? All right, back to Brad. 7/12/79, 12/31. All right. All right, Brad. Okay, so you are a Pisces rising sign, nakshatra of Revati. Okay, so Revati nakshatra, that's my moon sign. And so Revati is very creative, musicians, artistic, spiritual people, just really creative. It's ruled by Mercury, so and it's also like, people give Revati this great rep, and it's great, don't get me wrong, but it's in Pisces, and it can be like kind of the scandalous type of personality, somebody who likes to be free. People will be drawn to you. Music, though, you'll really connect with music, and you're very, very psychic. Like when I'm saying this, and I'm not even exaggerating a little bit, like you probably like Jenny, guarantee you. Your chart kind of looks like Jenny, like kind of like that alchemist type of chart. Now you also have K2 conjunct moon, so your emotions can be rather cold. It's in the 12th house too. So everybody that I know that has K2 conjunct moon can have issues with their mother at some point of their life. They could be real close with their mom, okay? But it's kind of a weird relationship where their mom might not have done anything to them, but they just feel like they're obligated to call them, or it's like, oh, you know, it's like that. So it can be kind of a drag sometimes, or it could be, you know, you lost your mother. It's all over the place, but I'm just saying you have guards up emotionally. People can probably say you can be kind of cold. You keep your feelings in. So I'm going to stop what I You know, I'm going to keep it kind of brief because you do keep things inside. But you're psychic. All right. And definitely a competitive person too. Also, I don't want to scare you, but you could have like people that stalk you. Okay. So be very cautious because people could be very like, or somebody could be watching you or something. It's just a card that popped out. Okay. So also, just be very cautious right now. But also, you have Mars in the third. That's very competitive, especially when it comes to money. Once again, you have two of the most creative nakshatras. So you are a very creative person. It can be art, it can be music, it can be finances. It doesn't always have to be like when I say art, people think I literally mean like you're painting pictures, but it doesn't mean that. It means you could be a writer, creative think, you know, just anything like that. But you're competitive. Like when there's something you want, you'll go for it. But sometimes you can just feel like a lag, like, oh, I don't feel like doing it. And you get bored really, really easy. Like I creative again, there's another one, 5, 6, 7. Okay, your chart's kind of like, I'm going to keep it like that. Transits, that some charts I can't get into too much on here. All right, so I'm just going to give you some advice. So these charts have to be investigated, like way more than just, this is a live on, you know, on YouTube. So I study charts before I do readings. This is like very vague. Okay. It's just to give you like a little hint of what's so like, oh yeah, that sounds like me, you know, definitely changes in career. Okay. Also, you had Jupiter in the 8th. So endings also could have been an inheritance, fights, battles, depending on who, you know, this, it's accident. Definitely you could have been even accidents or like bad luck, karma. You could have had some rough things. That last year might not have been the easiest. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Things are going to be turning around though, just so you know. Wheel of Fortune. It's good. Maybe 4 months, 4 weeks. You're going to get a message. Maybe you'll get a new job, a new opportunity. That's a good one. Start a business. You need to start a business though. If you have any ideas of starting a business, if you put your mind to it right now, I promise you. I mean, it's going to feel like really tough, you know, career changes right now because that's what's going on. So this is all about focusing on work, big changes. Okay. So any type of changes you want to do with work are extremely, extremely, you know, now it's going to feel like shit. It's going to feel like you're, you know, like a slave, quite honestly, but it'll pay off. You're impatient right now. You're having anxiety. You need balance and you need to take some action. One of the problems with a Pisces ascendant and a moon conjunct Ketu in the 12th house, you can be lazy. You need to take some action on something. All right. And so now is the time. Whatever you focus on right now, I can assure you, if you like hustle and put all the hard work into it, it will pay off. Yeah. And any type of healing too. I mean, I don't know what you want to do. I can't get into all that, but you're very psychic too. All right. Zeddy. Okay. And we're going to do Tammy, Johnny. Then maybe I'll pull some cards. I'm not going to be on here all night. So 2/11, 1967, 3/17. Okay, so Zeddy, February 11th, 1967. Okay. Sagittarius rising, an Aquarius moon, and sun in Capricorn. Let me guess, you thought you were an Aquarius, but you feel, I don't even know if 2/11 is an Aquarius. I think it is, but you actually do have a lot of Aquarian energy because you're an Aquarius moon, an Aquarius, Venus, and Mercury. I don't know if you're a male or a female, but I'll just say you have to mentally be stimulated a lot. Okay. So affairs, cheating, it's going to be very hard for you to stay like without your mind going into other realms. Like you're probably somebody that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that you're like a daydreamer, or you're always thinking. It's like brilliant too. It's very smart. Aquarius moons, Aquarius people are extremely intelligent, but sometimes they're like always living in a world of, ideas, which isn't a bad thing, right, at all. But sometimes the people that are around you get lost in the shuffle, especially because you're a Sagittarius rising. So you're Sagittarius rising, nakshatra of Mula. Mula is all about digging deep to the surface of things, researching things, investigating things, bringing out the ugly, transforming things. The god Kali, when she wore the skulls around her neck, so she shares the ugly to transform people but she shows the ugly, okay? So that type of thing, that's what my Jupiter's in. So that's why I'm kind of blunt when I speak. And so are you, okay? But I'm not blunt until I'm like on here, because I can like camouflage it. But sometimes you might come across rather blunt. Sun in the second in Capricorn, good speaker for sure. Good worker. I mean, you're very like, okay. I'm going to leave it at that right now, for right now. You also have K2 and Mars conjunct like me. Anger issues in the 11th. You could have some issues with some siblings if you have siblings. If you don't, then some shitty network groups or whatever. Like, it's good for money, but it can be some ups and... Okay, your hopes and wishes and dreams, they're kind of like false. So you'll want things and then you'll get them, and then they might not be that great. You're leaving somebody out in the cold. They're definitely a relationship that was holding you back, I would say. It could have even been from the past. You might need to move. Let me look at your transits. Yeah, Saturn's in your first. I just had this happen. Okay, so I started just so you know, I'll give you an example. When Saturn's in your first house, you literally feel exhausted. You feel like you have so many things to do and you just don't feel like doing them. It's like you'll get opportunities, but it's just, you feel like you don't have the energy. You feel tired. It can make your health feel weird. Rahu in the 8th on Jupiter. Money, okay. You could be giving money away. Let's just say focus on work, because this could be really good. Starting a new craft. You may have a journey that's delayed. But for you, I would say that this card, this garden in the gate, it means that you are caught up in you're not seeing the bigger picture. You're like things are going to be coming in good, and you're not being grateful for what you have. All right. So positive things could be coming in. Jupiter's going to go into your 9th house, which is could be more traveling, but it might be delayed. Okay. So it might not. So say you want to travel. Well, because you know what? Sagittarius love to travel. So you would love to be traveling, and something might happen where you're not going to be traveling. Money's going to be good though, but you need to be careful from fires and accidents. I hate to say that to you, but I'm just being honest. Okay, next. Tammy. Twelve. 1968. Tammy, I hope you're December 3rd and not March 12th, because I'm just going to put it that way. And I can't scroll down because I'll lose my track. So if I'm wrong, let's see. I've done a lot of readings for people in Canada recently and Australia, like normal. It's slow. Something's going on, Tammy. I promise it's not responding. My software just is just stalled. Cool. So what I'm going to do too, because I can't be on here too late. I'm going to read through some of these comments, and then if after this, because when this downloads, and I may just make a video for some people on here, like when when I have some time. So if you're in this live chat and you put your name and your comments in here, like I just see this, like I'm a disabled vet, wonder when it's a good time for hip surgery. That's not something that I'm going to be able to tell you in 5 seconds. Okay. So I will give you some sort of, like, I'm going to go through this and try to give people some readings. I don't know if I might even make it like a private thing for the people that I do, but I don't know how I'm going to work that. But right now, I'm not going to be able to get through all these. And I can see that obviously some people need, some help. So Tammy, my software, you just decided your chart just shut it down. So it says not responding. Damn it. This always happens. Shit. I have this.